Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD. Welcome to the Miami ePrix at Homestead Miami Speedway. Race 5 of 16 for Formula E in 2025. After 2 months, it's time for the first race since the weekend of the Daytona 500. Thank God. I mean, it's been freaking forever. But we're finally back at it with a race. And it's the U.S. round, this time at Homestead Miami Speedway. And while they had a golden opportunity to run using the Homestead Oval, they did a modified version of the road course with no oval turns. With all due respect, Formula E, fuck you. Anyway, well, that's weird. Hold on a moment. I'm not even streaming. What the hell? Trying to get the. I'm gonna go to sports. For some reason, it's not really working, and that concerns me. Let me put on something else and see if it works. Yeah, let me put on a live thing. Okay, that works. Maybe it just hasn't started yet. All right, so I'll go over the starting lineup here in Homestead. Starting 22nd, driving the number 7 DS. The number 7 DS for DS Penske. 27 years old from Oberstdorf, Germany, Maximilian Günther. Starting 21st, driving the number 55 Maserati for Maserati MSG Racing. 30 years old from Birmingham, United Kingdom, Jake Hughes. Starting 20th, driving the number 22 Lola Yamaha for Lola Yamaha ABT Formula E team. 21 years old from Bridgetown, Barbados, Zane Maloney, the first of the 3 rookies. Starting 19th, driving the number 8 McLaren Nissan for Neon McLaren Formula E team. 38 years old from Roehampton, United Kingdom, Sam Bird. Starting 18th, driving the number 51 Andretti Porsche for Andretti Formula E. 33 years old from Thun, Switzerland, Nico Muller. Or maybe it's Thun. I don't know how to pronounce the Swiss words. Starting 17th, driving the number 25 DS for DS Penske. 34 years old from Pontoise, France, Jean-Eric Verne. Starting 16th, driving the number 23 Nissan for Nissan Formula E team. 32 years old from Barnsley, United Kingdom, Oliver Rowland. Starting at 15th, driving number 33 Kiro Porsche for Cupra Kiro. 25 years old from London, United Kingdom, Oliver Rowland. No, excuse me, what the heck? Dan Ticktum. They're next to each other. Starting 14th, driving the number 9 Jaguar for Jaguar TCS Racing. 30 years old from Auckland, New Zealand, Mitch Evans. Starting 13th, driving the number 37 Jaguar for Jaguar TCS Racing. 30 years old from Auckland, New Zealand, Nick Cassidy. Yeah, teammates from the same town, from the same country, in the same town. Starting 12th, driving the number 16 Envision Jaguar for Envision Racing. 36 years old from Igel, Switzerland, Sebastian Buemi. Starting 11th, driving the number 5 McLaren Nissan for Neon McLaren Formula E team. 20 years old from Norwich, United Kingdom, Taylor Barnard, the second rookie. The middle rookie, as it were. Now for the top 10. Starting 10th, driving the number 48 Mahindra for Mahindra Racing. 38 years old from Geneva, Switzerland, Eduardo Mortara. Starting 9th, driving the number 1 Porsche for Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team. 30 years old from Sigmaringen, Germany, Pascal Wehrlein. Starting 8th, driving the number 3 Kiro Porsche for Cupra Kiro. 24 years old from Iserlohn, Germany, David Beckman, the highest starting rookie. Starting 7th, driving the number 11 Lola Yamaha for Lola Yamaha ABT Formula E team. 40 years old from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Lucas DeGrassi. Maybe it is apt, like Daniel Apt. Starting 6th, driving the number 2 Maserati for Maserati MSG. Wait, yeah, Maserati MSG Racing. 33 years old from Kortrijk, Belgium. Stoffel van Doorn. Starting 5th, driving the number 21, Mahindra for Mahindra Racing. 30 years old from Uitwellingerge, Netherlands. Nick de Vries. Never make me pronounce that ever again. Starting 4th, driving the number 4, Envision Jaguar for Envision Racing. 33 years old from Maastricht, Netherlands, Robin Freins. Starting 3rd, driving the number 13, Porsche for Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team. 33 years old from Cascais, Portugal, Antonio Felix da Costa. Starting 2nd, driving the number 27, Andretti Porsche for Andretti Formula E. 29 years old from Nuneaton, United Kingdom, Jake Dennis. And on the pole, driving the number 17 Nissan for Nissan Formula E team with a pole time of 1 minute 23.037 seconds and an average speed of 95.639 miles per hour or 153.951 miles per hour or kilometers per hour. 32 years old from Caen, France, Norman Nato. That is your starting lineup for today's Miami ePrix. Now, I'm still waiting for this damn thing to start. The Roku channel feed does not start until 2:05.
I'm on an illegal stream. It's pretty cool.
Hi, Rafa. So.
Oh, we got 3 people. That's nice.
The race length will be 26 laps, just over 90 kilometers.
All right, who do you got winning this one? I know you got to have somebody.
Roland, he's been absolutely dominant so far this season. And as I think, as attack mode has demonstrated, track possession don't mean shit.
I was thinking that, but he's just looked so unhappy with the car throughout the weekend so far.
I didn't watch practice or qualifying, so I don't
really
know.
Still know who I'd put ahead of him.
No, you think we see an upset winner? Who do you think wins? Who do you think wins?
Oh gosh, it's wide open this weekend. I think we'll see the usual winners at the front. I'm tempted to say Mitch Evans, but it's just really a shot in the dark.
I want to test something real quick, just to make sure that I can share screen. So I'm just going to find a random thing.
Been on some nice travels.
They have nothing to say.
Okay, it works.
All right, we're going to show some football.
I think. Were you able to... I think that... Did this share screen even work there? Hold on a minute. Should have been able to work. Okay, let me turn that on again. Well,
It is.
still not on. Let me go back to a...
And the Hawks are up 8-6.
Fucking hell. Hold on a minute. Did I fix it?
Yeah, I can see it.
No, you could... Well...
It's good.
I'm gonna reload this. Turning off hardware acceleration usually fixes it. Let me turn on something else.
Huge thing.
Okay.
Lacy to third.
Just want to make sure that this works.
Opportunity to maybe cash in 2 for Dia.
That's a base hit in the center
Okay.
field.
Still waiting for this to start on my end. I might miss the start of the race, but this is just how I watch. Here we go.
Appearance also for Lola at Yamaha with Lucas de Grassi. They'll be aiming for some points. Stoffel van Doorn, his best start of the season. He's the only driver to score points in every race. De Vries also equals Mahindra's best ever start in season 11. Robin Freins, an equal best start for Envision of season 11 as well, making it 2 Dutchmen inside the top 5. De Costa heads the second row of the grid. He'll be aiming for a record equaling victory this afternoon. Jake Dennis, his first front row start since Berlin 24. He's won 5 5 races from the front row, and Norman Nato takes his first ever Formula E pole. The 25th for the Nissan team. He'll be aiming to replicate Nico Prost's win for the same outfit here in 2015. So tension is in the air. Billy Munger, it's electric, quite literally, down there on the grid. What are you expecting when lights go out?
Not a
Well, the first thing
crowd,
I
I
noticed on
think.
the grid
Just gonna watch
is
the
just
stream.
the heat that is
Huh?
coming off the surface of this track. It is definitely...
Your feed's
hot
wet,
enough
otherwise, so I'm just gonna watch on the
conditions
stream.
for practice and qualifying.
I'm ahead of the
So
illegal
drivers,
stream. Hell yeah.
They're gonna have to be super careful with managing
The
those
Roku is
surface
free,
temperatures of the
so-
tyres. If they go over the limit with it, they'll lose the grip, and I think they'll really struggle to roll those minimum corner speeds through corners, which is so critical in Formula E for energy
Man.
efficiency.
It's a very fast-paced circuit, this one, James. No
I
real
just
big
wish
stops on
they
this track.
actually
We're
could
expecting it
run
as
the
a result to be an
oval.
energy-efficient race,
Also,
meaning
that camera
essentially
angle.
we're not expecting the pace to be representative.
It's
of
weird.
qualifying
Like
pace.
part of
The
them are
race
starting
is
on the turn. That
I
looks
think we're
looks
going
so
to see the leader
wonky to
really
me.
dictate the pace, and it's a bit of an unknown right now how fast
Yeah,
they're going to go.
Oliver Rowland is the favorite to win.
Well,
Well, as much as there is a favorite in a
whether
race.
or not they're going to try and spread that energy out equally, and it's part of the
Favorite to
excitement
win, but it's his
of what we're about to
teammate
see.
on the pole. We'll see how long he can keep it.
This is a weird angle. Like,
Homestead
Homestead isn't crooked, is it? On the straightaways?
When it all concertinas up in the very tight first corner. 26 laps of action for the drivers. 2 attack modes available for them as well. 8 minutes in total for the drivers. Let's see what happens as the 5 red
Here
lights
we
come
go,
on.
lights
Inside
coming
Miami,
on.
Miami, as lights go out,
And we're underway.
Throughout, we're green at Homestead. I had to.
Keep an eye on as well.
Also
I'll
trying
take the
to
standings
cover off
eventually.
inside first corner.
Nato holds on to the lead as they enter turn 1. Watch the Andretti's. They have a new livery for this race, so they're white and blue. So there's there's a pass right there for second spot.
DaCosta, I think that is.
Oh yeah, I forgot who was. Yeah, I forgot the Porsche's purple. It's been 2 freaking months.
It looks like Antonio's on a bit of a charge. I'm not sure he wants to be at the front quite yet, but yeah, he's not
Down the
finding out
inside,
3 wide as he comes
DeVries.
into turn 6.
Trying to get Dennis as well, and he's going to do so.
Really spaced out. They took it
The Andretti's did not look comfortable in qualifying or in practice. There was a good quality from Dennis, but he's already down 2 spots on the opening lap.
Kind of unfolds, and they were super cautious, as you said, through turn 1 and 2.
Look at 4 wide down this straightaway in the road course. Look at Buemi trying to work his way through there. DeVries into the podium positions in the Mahindra. Now they head down the back stretch or whatever. Well, almost the back stretch. Why? What was the point of this?
Oh, 3 wide, they make it happen. Everyone crawls on through.
Should have really just won the oval, but I digress. Ooh, look at DeVries to the inside of DaCosta for second position. Ooh, there goes DeVries, setting it round the outside, round the outside, round the outside, and he takes the lead as they come down the front stretch. And there goes DaCosta down the inside. DeVries pulls the block.
Come to the fore as he goes into the first corner side by side here with Norman.
Oh!
Mahindra keeping the
Nato hits the grass a bit.
Momentarily is Nato.
Now relegated back to third.
It definitely seems like they're spread out. No one's really
Well, they've
sure
all
what
survived
position
lap
should be running
1.
at this first
That at
part
least can be
of the
said.
race, and we see Nick DeVries taking the lead. Bold
Earlier
move by him.
today,
Let's see what pace
Jamie
he wants to
Chadwick
really conduct.
and Raja Caruth did a car swap where Raja got to drive a Formula E car and Chadwick was in the electric prototype. Oh, look at
It's funny that they do
Frines.
a car swap because neither of them drive those.
Make some
Hmm?
grand fellas, Robert Frines, isn't it? Who's side by side
boy,
now there.
Buemi on Nato, and
That's
he'll
Frines,
back out
that's
of that
Frines.
one, But turn 8, another chance.
That's Frines.
Lifting and coasting at different points.
Oh, that's
They're
Frines, you're
nowhere
correct.
near maximum pace, but
Buemi's
Yeah,
been
the
going
first sector
forward, but
line
not quite
compared
there
to
yet. He's now
qualifying,
just
5
behind
seconds
Dennis,
slower
also
than what
trying to
we
come
saw
through.
in qualifying, just in the first sector of the lap. So that really shows how much energy they're
Electric
trying to
start
save
from
in
the
this early
Envisions up in
phase of the
combined 7
race. Really
spots.
super tactical stuff we're seeing out there.
Now there is Buemi. He appears on the inside and goes right on past the Andretti.
Inside the top 10, and I suppose that's the benefit of races like this, James, is you can cycle your way through the field. Qualifying, though it is important to stay out of trouble, especially in those first couple of corners, if you can do that, you are able to make your way up through the field. But I suppose the converse of that is you're using more energy.
Yes, but Sebastian, a very experienced driver, he knows how to get to the front and win one of these races. So he knows.
Yeah,
he has to be
except
the top
Buemi
five
hasn't won a
there.
race since
He can be
2019.
efficient in 5th place, but he can
It is
spend
his day,
very little
trust me.
energy to gain all those places
Huh?
to be sat there at the the beginning, and he's.
Today is his day.
I'm interested in seeing how two
Brian's
divisions
got- oh,
being
Brian's-
so close
yeah,
to each
Brian's
other
in charge.
potentially play any, team tactics, because we saw in the earlier practice sessions the teams were running with both their cars to see the difference in efficiency from one car to
So
another.
DeVries and
But also
Mahindra,
now
who
they've
struggled
got
so
two in
heavily
the top
the
five.
previous
How
season
will they
now.
use each
Well,
other?
Mahindra as a
How
whole
laps.
had a bad year last year. They've been looking just a lot better this year.
And I think over this quarter season break, we'll call it, they've also made some upgrades.
I think
And that can
Mortara
also certainly
might be
contribute to their
podium.
success.
On his inside,
Couldn't
on the
remember if
fringes
he
of the
did.
top 10. We're right on board with Nick De Vries, who continues leading this race from Antonio Felix da Costa. Disadvantage here for De Vries is, of course, he's going to be expending more energy. Drivers that are in his slipstream, they can lift and coast a bit earlier, save that energy in the early stages of the race, and hopefully use that to their
Man,
advantage later on.
I
De Vries is gonna
really
have a bit of hard
wish
work if
they
the
had-
race goes traditionally without a safety car until the end of this one.
Full efficiency.
This chicane pains
Being told
me.
to focus on efficiency.
That-
He lined up
why
into the top 10,
do they have to
second
add
place.
that?
He's down in 8th at the moment, so he's sort of not really moved from where he
Something
started.
about them having to
So how
recharge
you
the
do
cars
that
and
is you
stuff.
really
It's why
focus
every
on your
circuit
minimum
they get to
speeds,
has a billion
your lift-off
chicanes.
point, and making sure your minimum speed is as high as possible.
Oh no!
in
Think about the
corner. That's how
exhibition
you
event they
maintain
did at
efficiency.
Miami with the
And then smooth
celebrities.
on the throttle
Would it
and
have
exit,
killed them
early lift-off
to
times.
maybe run like a 40-lap race
As well. So lap time
on the
down
oval?
35 thereabouts. We're what, 10
It really
12
might
seconds
have.
off the pace we saw in quali, really.
Yeah,
All
this
right,
is-
fastest
it's
lap,
crazy.
was
I
it
mean,
Moorline or
even in
Beckman?
other championships, we don't see margins this different. That just shows how the efficiency is really critical in this race, and everyone
Well,
knew
we
that coming
expected a bit of a
into
pack
this
race.
weekend because
Not
of the
much
nature
of
the
it so
circuit
far, though,
we're in.
developing.
Very obvious
Yeah.
that efficiency was going to be the name of the game here.
What was that?
You wonder at what point they start going into attack mode for the first time. Everyone patient so far, just trying to see who makes the first move, perhaps. The story of the early laps continues to be Sebastian Bueno, though, and Vision now running third and fourth.
I think they're quite comfortable where they are. They can run their own pace. We see at the front there's a bit of a concertina effect.
Oh,
and
boy.
that will compromise their minimum speeds.
That
And if
is
you compromise the minimum
tight.
speed, you compromise
Airline has
efficiency.
been doing
So
back
probably
there, two of the
Roland,
bluish,
Cassidy,
purplish
Evans,
cars.
they're quite happy to be where they are right now, maximising their efficiency and trying to give themselves the best chance later on in the race.
And all close with Dennis there, coming into the chicane 2x2 here as well. Taylor
Blow
Oh,
for the
sweet,
chicane. It's
that'll
so
work.
tough to get rid of wheel.
Close for company. We're
Look
right
at
on
Da
board
Costa,
with
he's
the other
all
tech
over
Porsche of
DeVries.
Antonio Felix da Costa, still
Oh,
sitting
Holy.
in the wheel tracks
Not gonna
patiently
make a
there.
move
Is
yet.
Antonio Felix da Costa. Nick De Vries just in front of him right now.
You can visibly see the difference in speed through there, can't you? In qualifying, they were struggling to
I
keep
didn't
within the
realize
track
that
limits, and they were kicking up
Formula
dust
E has such a
constantly
good
through there. Big
leaderboard,
snaps of
so
oversteer too, but
one
that
moment.
looked very measured from Antonio Felix Acosta there.
So for those who are tuning into Formula E for the first time here, James, and they're watching this race thinking why they're lifting off and coasting, what is the purpose of that? Why are we seeing this?
So we have 38 kilowatts of energy for the race. You regen energy when you're braking, so you recover energy into the battery pack when you're braking.
Yeah, this will work.
Based on the last lap stuff in particular, it's a very similar deployment.
So yeah, so it's about the equivalent, to put it into petrol perspective, of 5 litres of fuel to do an entire race. Now, Formula 1 car burn that in a lap, 2 laps. So yeah,
Here
it's
comes
vastly
Barnard.
different. So it's all about energy
No,
efficiency.
Figured we'd
Fucking
see the
numbers.
McLaren
And
rookie
what
at
we're
some
seeing
point,
right now
and
is
he's
the
now
guys
up
maximising
11th
their
into
efficiency so they
7th.
can then race harder to
He
go in the
is,
right
in
direction.
my
They
opinion,
could
the best
split it
rookie in the
equally,
field.
but then if
I don't
someone
think anyone's
saves a lot of
disputing
energy
that, though.
and you have a
Barnard is.
safety car,
He
you're
was
at risk
making
of
that
being
AIX
overtaken. So
car
the
do
strategy
things
that
it
we're seeing
shouldn't
is
do
all
last
of the
year.
teams and drivers trying to save energy in the beginning part of the race, and we're going to see some great racing as the energy builds
And
up
now
and the laps.
AIX Racing is second in
Let's see what
F2
happens
points.
there. Norman Nato it is now who's in front.
Yeah.
With Antonio
Just
Felix
off of
da Costa.
Dirksen
Back
alone,
into
because
third position
he and
inside the
Shieldling
Atlantic
are going to do
garage.
crap.
Much better.
So
Dan
that's
Towers,
Ronnie's
the owner of the
engineer saying that he's
TWG
under
group.
consumption, essentially. So that's a better target that he's going to hit.
Yeah, and he's outperforming his target by the sounds of it on that last lap. So
I must say, I thought we'd see Gunter or Hughes going forward by this stage in the race.
There. Well,
They're
Gunter's
still
is
about
up
3
2.
spots.
Hughes is not is not moved.
So maybe they think they're doing a great job. maybe Antonio Felix Costa sat there in second place is doing a better
Wemmy's
job.
up to
But
5th
for me,
place.
he seems to be the one who's most under control in this race. He's hitting all of his minimum speeds. He's not in the Constantino effect. I think the guys actually in 7th, 8th, 9th, we see them getting compromised, especially when we get to the chicane. They keep fighting each other.
Roland's
That's
still
only
in
gonna be to their
15th.
detriment as the
I'm
race
still
continues.
so shocked we've seen this swap of the Nissans this weekend. With Nato taking over that role at the front.
I missed the lead change because I was trying to improve my interface for the
We're on. There
stream.
is Floring and Modlinger, team principal for the Tag Heuer Porsche team. De Costa in second, Verline down in 11th place at the moment. Robin Nato going through in the lead.
That's not a sound I expected.
In towards
Wow,
turn
wow,
eight. This is one of the
wow.
fastest parts of the track, one of the widest parts as well. You can see visibly there we've had 3-4 cars wide at some points here.
Yeah, super exciting going down there. I think we're going to see a lot of overtaking going on into turn 8 later on in the race.
Let's have a look at what happened to David Beckman in here. So we're coming into the chicane of turns 10 and 11. We've got DS Penske on the inside. Oh, I thought there was a bit of hip and shoulder there with Jev.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You see how much the two cars lost to the car in front? That's just poor efficiency. And they were right on the gearbox of Pascal when they went into the corner. And they both lost so much. And then they have to expand the energy to really catch back up. So it's not efficient at all and not what you should be doing at this phase of the race.
Yeah, Vern lucky to miss out on hitting the ball on the outside there.
What the fuck is that? Why do you know this? Okay, pointing to go. Well, it looks so goofy.
That's actually there.
Energy reveal. So this is
It's
one
not.
thing in Formula that's very unique. The other teams do not know the energy until they see it on screen for the first time here.
Only
And the big winners and
20%'s been
losers, you can see them,
expended
especially
in-
down the order,
oh.
Evans and Rowland.
And that's
They've
we're
got
about
more
25%.
Bird's the goat.
to those in front.
Well, no, look at the Costa, 79%, and he's running in second, so he hasn't got to make
I
up
feel like
that
they should be
margin
spending
that
a
likes of
little
Evans
more.
and Rowland do.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
It's because they want to say the way these work is they just save forever, and then once they get to like 5 to go, then they'll actually start trying, and it's just who's made it enough.
Virtual race engineers who's going to manage the tie attempts to
Well,
fight.
that caused who ran out of fuel? Who ran out of energy in Jeddah?
Yeah, super interesting.
Well,
actually,
someone
because
did.
they're running so far off the pace at the minute, because they are a good 10 seconds.
Roland might have at the end there.
They won't
Yeah,
be
I think it was
putting that much
Roland,
energy
and it
through
lost
the
him the
tyres
win
in terms
to
of rolling
the-
those
I
speeds
can't remember
because
who
they're
won.
really attacking the tyre and using all
That
the
was
grip
Maxi
available. So
Gunter,
it's
that's right.
playing to their favour that when they do, really go for it towards the end of the race, they've actually got quite a lot of tyre grip in reserve.
The temperatures a lot hotter than they were this morning when we had qualifying for that matter. It was just after 2:15 local time here in Miami, and it has gotten a lot hotter over the last couple of hours in particular. Here then is Sam Bowden. You can see 13 races since his last podium according to the race statistics there, and Ian James would love him to get onto the rostrum. We've seen Barnard on the other side of the garage.
Barnard's up to 6.
Bird with his years of experience in Formula E can hopefully use that to his advantage. Meanwhile,
Look
there
at
is
Dennis,
Dennis
and Van
on the inside
Dorn.
of Stoppel Van Dorn down to the first corner.
Jack, you were absolutely dormant so far in this race. I thought we'd see them work their way forward, but only 15th and 16th at this stage for two of last season's championship protagonists.
More than the Jags, 0.5% more than the Jags.
0.5% more efficiency than the Jags for the Nissan powertrain in the back of that Neon McLaren.
Yeah, and considering that Sam's running just in front of them as well, that kind of plays into the strategy and tells him
They
that
look
he's
at
doing
my
well
car.
compared to
Also
the
trying
cars
to find
around
the
him.
field.
Obviously, the energy differences to the front of the grid are going to be significant because they're having to push harder to stay further up the order. But it seems fairly reassuring for the Neon McLarens. And Taylor Barnard's just made quiet progress up into the... Well, he's currently 7th at the minute. So in terms of the championship competitors, he's up in 7th, he's in the points. Oliver Rowland's down in 17th, so he will be eating into his margin if it stays how it is, which obviously it probably won't.
So attack modes, 2 of them available for the drivers in the race.
Where's the
Close up
where's the
there into
detection
chicane,
point?
isn't it? 2 by 2, you can just about make it.
Turn 4, I
But 2 attack mode
believe.
deployments
It's in
for
the
the
infield.
drivers. They've got to do it in either 4 minutes and 4 minutes, 2 minutes and 6 minutes, or the reverse of that, 6 minutes and 2 minutes. No driver, as you can see, with the 2 dots left against every driver's name on the grid, has made an attack mode deployment in the race. Why is that, James? Why are we not seeing that at this early stage?
They get a huge advantage. When you take the attack mode, you've got 4-wheel drive, you've got 350 kilowatts instead of 300 kilowatts. So it's very easy to overtake, but no one wants to be at the front right now. What they're doing is they're saving their energy and compounding it to use at the future. So by saving now, they get to spend more per lap as the race goes on. Every lap that ticks off, you've got more energy per lap. We're going to see in a moment, there's going to be a go point where the guys start picking up the pace a lot.
Okay, we can make
Buemi and try to stick with.
Oh, attack mode.
A bit less soft than you.
It's Buemi.
Try to do it efficiently.
2 minutes. We'll have 6 minutes in the next one.
There is the first attack mode deployment. Buemi goes into it now. He's got four-wheel drive, an extra 50
Can't wait to see. I love watching four-wheel drive with these cars. They just eat up everybody.
Interestingly, he's taken the 2-minute option for the first one. That should be enough to cycle him through into the top 3 and give him a nice comfortable
Only
zone.
gone down to
He's got
7,
6
so this
minutes
should
to
work
take
out pretty
later
well
on in
for
the race.
Buemi.
So coming down this back straight, this should be easy.
Alright, Barnard got on Mortara. No, or De Vries. Mortara's up to 4th. We got 2 cars.
I hadn't even noticed Mortara's charge.
Look at that,
forward.
5th.
He's done quite well.
And 4th.
Obviously, you've got Robin Freins just directly in front of him. You should imagine that's going to be.
Buemi's gonna hit the lead, I think.
Yeah, he should just be able to.
Although only 2 minutes, so it'll be close. But he could probably get them all in the front stretch if he wanted to.
50 kilowatts. So
There's Buemi.
D3.
Oh, he's off!
Oh, wow.
It's an Andretti, I think.
Big off.
No, it's Penske.
It's the Penske. Vern, I believe.
Apparently,
it is.
it's John-Eric
Oh,
Vern,
he could've
the 2-time
big
champ.
one.
Pick the straightest route possible and manages to come back onto the circuit without too much harm.
Damn.
You can see the track
Slots
is
right back in the last
right
place.
now down
There's
at
Greg
the back of
Penske,
the field, and
or Jay
there.
Penske, excuse me.
I'm glad he's got his shades on because I'm sure we'll
He
be
looks
seeing
like
a few
not gonna
crosses
lie.
underneath them otherwise.
Every time I see
Yeah, that
Jay
looked like he just
Penske,
got
I
pushed
think
off in a
douche.
very fast area, probably running side by side, nowhere for him to go. As soon as
I
he
don't
touched
know
the
why, I
grass,
just
he
do.
Just had to go straight. Smart decision from Jeff, I have to say.
More
Straight
attack
ahead.
mode. We got
Another
Van Dorn, I think.
That's Van Dorn.
Just emerges in front of Lucas
Also
Grassi.
takes 2
Look how
minutes.
close it is. The racing line converges
Buemi
naturally
for the
onto
lead.
exit
Not
of
yet.
that
He will not
attack
go
mode
for
here.
it on
Oh, look,
nonsense.
Barnard trying to make a pass on one of them on both of the Mahindras. One of them hit the dirt. Barnard to P5.
Let's have a look and see what happened here to John-Eric
So
Verne.
here we
He just
see-
went off.
Contact there with the
Oh, high speed corner and off he
With
goes.
Degrassi, possibly, yes.
So that's not good at all there for Verne. Hopefully he's not picked up any damage. It looked like his front wings fairly intact. Now let's have a look. So Degrassi on the outside then here through into 12. Oh, just over the curve.
No, he
He's just
just
lost it. He's
fucked up
bottomed
the
out
turn.
on the
Lost
bump
it.
and lost the rear of the car.
He was coming
I don't know why my resolution fell down. Wemby's now back in 3rd place. His attack mode is over.
Well, lucky that he's managed to emerge from that unscathed, and likewise Lucas Degrassi not getting caught up in another driver's incident. So 10 out of 26 were on. The pace now again settling down as it were, but some drivers having used their first attack mode deployment. For Wemmy's used his first one, he's now come to the end of that one. Van Dorn's got just under a minute remaining then here, and let's see how much that is going to benefit him.
Van
He's
Dorn
advanced
by
Taylor
Barnard.
down the start pretty straight now behind the 2 Envisions of Buemi and Freins down into T1.
What I love about this phase
could
of the
get
Formula E
bronze.
races,
I
you
don't
know,
know
it's very
beyond that.
easy as a driver to stay calm those first few laps when you know that you're saving energy. But as the race heats up, you start wanting to be at the front. You start jostling for position. We're seeing everyone now. They really want to be in the top
Another
5,
attack
top
mode.
3 even. Everyone taking attack
It's
mode.
one of the Mahindras.
De Vries.
De Vries.
So De Vries in the Mahindra going for his first attack mode deployment, but he's done the reverse of what we saw from Buemi and Van Dorn. He's gone for 4 minutes first.
4 minutes. He's going for 4.
4 minutes for attack mode. He should be able to navigate his way almost through to first place from there. So he's gone for a bit more of a different strategy of using more of his attack mode earlier to get himself in the right position, but it means he might be vulnerable later in the race.
Down the back straight we go in towards turn 8. He's on the inside here of Taylor Barnard. Also, Sam Bird looking to make a move for 9th place on Jake Dennis. De Vries with that 4-wheel drive traction and, of course, 50 kilowatts more power should make easy pickings of those in front of him at the moment. Dennis there now still side by side. A bit of contact there almost with Taylor Barnard through into that chicane.
Sam Bird moving up the order into P9 now. He's definitely used that energy that he saved early part of the race, moving forwards from 14th to 9th.
Slowly making his ascension through the field. If you're looking at the likes of Nick Cassidy and Mitch Evans here, James, they're still down in 13th and 15th place. But they were the quickest cars pretty much yesterday in practice. Is that cause for concern being this far down at this stage of the race?
Until we see the energy numbers, we just won't know. Maybe they've been saving a lot of energy.
Currently P10, doing a great job, mate, but that's key, being good on energy. Let's be good on energy.
And that's where the experience of Sam Bird comes in. He's one of 5 drivers who have raced in Miami.
I can't tell what lap we're on because it's all
2015.
my
different
feed
venue,
got all
very
blurry. Let me
advanced
reload.
compared to what we have now. For Sam Bird.
Again, because
Respectively.
There we go.
Let's see what happens down into the chicane then. So this is him with
Ooh.
Jake Dennis.
Oh!
side by side. They've had Taylor
Sam
Bernard
Bird and Jake Dennis.
There was a bit of wheel banging here, I'm pretty sure. It was only minimal, but pretty
Damn.
sure, yeah, just there. Like,
Well, at least no one's
of each other.
wrecked
Hopefully
yet.
that won't have done any damage to the car, but yeah, it's not an efficient way to go through that chicane, is it?
No, and he was very lucky to be on the inside where we saw Jean-Eric hit.
All right, lap 12. We have 15 laps to go. Lead change.
Back through into the lead, so he of course is in the attack mode.
DeFries for the top spot for the first time since God knows how long.
Will he try and make a gap? We've seen
I
this
forget what his
before
number
this year,
was
where
though,
some of the
like
drivers
back in the
get to the
Mercedes
front,
days.
Then they try and make a gap because then the others
Seven,
have to
it was
expand
5 or
energy and
17.
really
I
try
just
to
don't
catch
know
up
which.
quickly
I
so
think
that they can gain
17.
the efficiency of the slipstream.
Yeah, he's kind of not really got much of an option to do that because he's got 1.5 minutes still of attack mode to use.
Wait,
so if he
is
can
that a
start
lap
at the same
car?
pace as the others, it would be a bit of a
Wait.
waste.
Yeah, exactly, Billy.
What happened to Zane Maloney?
You see some of the others getting feisty there. Antonio Felix da Costa
I didn't
diving
realize
down
he
the
fell to
inside
the
of
back. I
Stefan
could have
Van
sworn I saw another car on the track. Like, wasn't like they were a lap down.
Of the Maserati MSG machine.
It was just my eyes played tricks on me. Porsche da Costa back to ahead of Norman Nato.
But it means an absolutely huge amount in Formula Retail.
That's amazing for da Costa to have that much energy.
All right, who we got? Beckman and Rich Evans. Maybe
He
Beckman.
can use that extra energy, spread out over the laps, or just save it until the end of the race, stick with everybody, and then unleash it.
Also looking at Sam Bird, he's actually on very similar energy, and so he's done a good job of progressing up the field and being energy efficient. As we see John Eric Verne having another moment in the chicane and making contact with Ronnie Andretti's there.
Yeah, that was Nico Muller that he just had a bit of a side swipe there with. So he got too deep on the brakes, nearly plummeted into the back of Mitch Evans, and then compromised Nico Muller and also, to an extent, Ollie Rowland.
Yeah, that's a bit of the Constantina effect where, you know, when you're just out of position.
Oh, I thought that was going to kick off then. Stoffel Van Dorn, I beg your pardon, getting in some strife.
It's really interesting to see that the people that are making the overtakes up the inside into that chicane, they can compromise the other driver quite a lot. So you can be quite tactical, I think, with where you're overtaking on the circuit. That seems to be a spot where if you get stuck on the outside, you have to really kill your minimum speed, and your efficiency for that lap is out the window.
Don't forget to vote for your PIF driver of the race in this one as well. Scan the QR code on the left-hand side of your screen. Down the start-finish straight we go. Muller trying to ascend through the field. Likewise, Edo Mortara as well. His teammate Nick DeFries still leads at the start of lap 14. Lap time starting to come down a little bit for those who are in attack mode. Problems for David Beckman. That's a huge shame for him in the Cupra Kiro, given that he got into the duels for the first time in his Formula E career.
Which tyre? I think right
More
tyre.
cars. Attack mode. I can't read it.
Suspension damage, man.
I think Degrassi took it. I think Jake Hughes took it. And Verne.
Coming to his aid. Meanwhile, at the front, it's starting to get a little bit more aggressive now here.
Sorry, just reloading again.
Antonio Felix da Costa's looking strong. Wow, 3 wide
Ooh.
forward.
Yeah, Nico Muller inside the Costa.
Look at Muller. Where'd he come from? Well, he got attack mode. That's what happened. Nico Muller to the lead. This guy who's leading the last car, Formula E.
Robin Freitz trying to pick off 2 for the price of 1 down into the chicane, but he can't quite make it stick through there. We've got a great seat in the house here on board with Robin Freitz, and it's now Nico Muller coming to the end of his first attack mode deployment that leads in the Andretti.
Now, if I'm Antonio Felix da Costa at this point in the race, I'd be thinking about how do I get in front and make a break. He's got 3% more energy than those around him. He can save that energy, use it in his attack mode, try to make a gap. He's the only one that can do it, I think, and take command of this race.
Would you use 6 minutes as your first hit if you were Antonio Felix da Costa?
It's a tough one, because if there's a safety car, you're really compromising your race then.
So close there between Mortara and Nato down into the first corner, especially with the bump on the exit there. You can see Verline looking
Beckman on pit road.
Getting boxed in a little bit with the McLaren and the Jaguar of Bird and Evans. Verline in attack mode with that four-wheel drive deployment. Oh, that's a bit of a messy rejoin there for Robin Freitz. He's getting caught up right in the pack now here as well. And you don't know which way to look. Blink and you'll miss it sort of stuff as we head down into turn 6. Da Costa it is that now leads. So is his strategy going to be to try and build a bit of a gap, get into that attack mode and try and pull away from the rest of the field?
Yeah, he won't get attack mode this lap because he hasn't gone through it. So
Ooh,
for this lap,
right
he's
into the
leading
dirt.
without attack mode, as we saw a lot of drivers kicking up the dust there through turn 7.
Verline looking on the inside.
DaCosta, now the leader.
Muller still side by side here with Norman Nato. We're right on board
Ooh.
with Pascal Verline.
Vorline trying to... Where is Vorline? Okay, he's in 5th. Now I think he's in 3rd. Got around both Nato and Muller.
DeGrassi's getting aggressive there.
Oh,
Also
side by side for the chicane.
nothing doing for him. DaCosta it is that leads then. Mortara in 2nd, Verline in 3rd. This is working quite nicely for Porsche here at this point. They're trying to bring both cars to the forefront of this race, and it's working out quite well so far.
Yeah, Pascal can get into 2nd place, acts as a bit of a rear gunner for Antonio. Not only will he benefit on the efficiency and be able to regain some of the energy that he's used to get up to the front of the field, but it also gives Antonio a lot of support and gives Porsche a very strong position.
Down into the first corner, it is now the 2 Tag Heuer Porsches that lead. DaCosta ahead of Verline, Mortara, Nato, etc. The only drivers in the top
And
line
it's a
that
Porsche
haven't
1-2 as they come back.
the likes of DaCosta,
Getting some
Mortara,
water.
and Nato.
You might see DaCosta now. Yes, I think if he had to do that, he had to push for it because he can now follow Pascal.
Yeah, and he's come out ahead crucially there of Mortara, so that's worked out really nicely for DaCosta. Good team tactics from Tag Heuer Porsche.
He only used 2 minutes for his attack mode there, so I think again that's a clever strategy because Pascal's got just under a minute ahead of him, so it means they can almost push on together. DaCosta can be efficient and still have a lot left for later in the race.
What about Edo Mortara? He's still got his 2 attack mode deployments remaining. His teammate Nick De Vries isn't too far down the road. I wonder if De Vries can cycle his way up through there, that we might see Mortara getting involved in the action. DeGrassi, meanwhile, on the inside.
The last time that Formula E came to... The last time that Formula E came to Miami was in 2015 when they ran a street race around Biscayne Bay.
Did not expect DeGrassi to be
That
here.
was in a...
What a shame for David Beckman.
Beckman's out again. This is his 2nd or 3rd DNF out in 5 races. Anyway, Biscayne and the previous Formula E race was won by Nicholas Prost.
Now, will we see the Porsches try to pull away? I think if Antonio takes the lead and Pascal can stay with him, I think the 2 of them can work together. I think Lucas has figured
Anyway,
this
10
one
laps to
out.
go.
He needs to go together with them.
DeGrassi up to 3rd now.
And bring himself home a podium.
Well, you wonder what's going to be going through Thomas Biermeier's mind at the moment. The ACT team know how to win races and win championships.
By the way, because we're not watching, Chris Knight reports huge tire wear in practice at Bristol. All I can say is, please, if we get another 2024 spring, like, I'll French piss someone.
They put down PJ1, so I thought we might not, but I'm glad they're seeing that way.
That is a huge shame there for the Dutchman. If that's the way his race is going to come to an end.
Hopefully someone peed in the
Yes, Nick De Vries.
Can he get going? If he can't, is the car in
Where is?
dangerous place?
Wait, what happened to De Vries? Why is he in last place? Out of the cars on track.
Here's the yellow.
Oh man, he's in the runoff and hasn't restarted.
Hopefully, it's not cause for a safety car for the rest of these drivers.
It depends if the
This
car
could
is
get
in safe
interesting with
condition
just
or
10
not.
to go.
With Formula E cars,
So
we
it's
have a
DaCosta and
system, a
Verline
light
who end up in the
system
front
shows
in the
the
purple
battery is
Porsches.
safe.
I didn't even realize that
If
the
it's
Porsche
unsafe,
was for a second. Safety car.
There you go. If it's unsafe, they will deploy a safety car. So yes, that.
Well,
has
critically,
played into
Roland
the
has not
hands
used
of some
either
of them.
attack mode
I
at
think
this
Antonio
stage.
Yes, he has. He's used one.
Especially because he has a lot of energy in his pocket. He's in
The only
lead of
person who
the
hasn't
race.
used any are
The
Roland and
likes of
Tictum.
Mortara, Nato, Cassidy, Maloney, and Dennis.
Oh,
They're all
Did
going
they
to
get
be
the car?
disappointed because, of course, they are in attack mode at the moment, and they've got no opportunity.
well, I'm gonna
use
put a
it.
And Nick's
picture
done a full
of the
system
tire
reset.
I
So what
see
he
from
would've done
Denny
is turn the car
Delivers
completely off, reset the
in
car.
general.
Now it's come back to life, and he's back on his way. So yeah, the safety car was only needed.
Look at that tire.
Well,
Well, hold on.
dawn, and it should only mean the safety car is presumably going to be out for just this lap. The lights
Look at
will
that
go off,
tire.
Back underway. You can see the Live Points Championship. Oliver Rowland, by the way, led by 17 points coming into this one. If it finished as it was now, he'd have a 4-point advantage heading into Monaco in a few weeks' time. So that lead would be dwindled down quite considerably.
Yeah, it's definitely not been his weekend. He's not really at any point in the weekend, practices, qualifying, and now in the race ever looked like the sort of form we saw from her in Jeddah. So it's been a real turn of form. Those 8 weeks has not worked out for him in the Nissan team. As we see a replay of Nick De Vries, running on at turn 3 there and having to completely reset his car. So a frustrating moment because Nick did a solid job in qualifying and has been, picking up some momentum along with that Mahindra team there.
there's a very strange thing to happen where you've just pulled off, and I wonder what actually has gone on there.
We can see what it meant for Tommaso Volpe and the frustration on his face. Confirmation the safety car does come in at the end of lap 18, so just a brief safety car then. Either way, it's scuppered the race.
All right, 8 laps sprint to win it.
Right down
One attack mode for
one
each.
driver that's still got 2 attack mode deployments. In fact, 2 drivers who've got 2 attack mode deployments remaining, and that is Oliver Rowland and Dan Tickton.
Worked out poorly for Barnard and for Dennis and Evans to find themselves shuffled down the order. Fantastic for guys like DeGrassi,
So this could actually
who
play
stayed
to
up
his
there for
advantage if he can
Mortara,
stay quite close when
for
they start
Sam
the race
Bird
again.
at 12
And he
spots.
can take the attack modes. He could try
And that all of them with
right away
chances
into
at a
the top
podium
10.
or maybe
So 8
even
laps it will
more.
be to go at the end of this one. Disappointment there for Dennis, especially because he cycled right back when he took his attack mode down into 17th place, and of course he's still in that now. I suppose the advantage is if this race gets going and they are now beginning to pull the pin, he will have at least probably about 30, maybe 40 seconds left by the time this race starts to use that billion.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a lot of time considering, you know, the minimum you can take is 2 minutes. You're talking about having 25% of the time available to then go and deploy. So, yeah, he'll be disappointed, Jake Dennis, because he was running sort of quite consistently in that top 10 and just being really good with saving his energy. As we see now, definitely looks like the pace has picked up there on this restart. They're pushing fairly hard there in turn 1.
Okay, full focus on restart and hold position.
Well, they're used to rolling starts in this part of the world, and that was textbook from Da Costa and Verline. But look at Verline's energy relative to Da Costa, 4% less. That's an absolute age.
Yeah, but that was a nice message from Porsche there where they said hold position. So Antonio knows he's not under any threat from Pascal. Pascal needs to follow Antonio to recover some of that energy deficit.
Looking further down the order, Rowland and Tickton have got the most amount of energy. Like you mentioned, James, they've been saving. They've got a good few percent over the cars in front, although Da Costa is looking super strong.
All right, 8 to go.
Rowland and Tickton have gone in for their first attack mode deployments. They needed to do that. They've got to make that ground.
Leaderboard.
Is bunched up
Doing the leaderboard thing.
Right on the inside here of DeGrassi into turn 8. Move done, and 3rd position secured for the Dutchman then. Through into the chicane we go, and you can see the pace is now going to surely it's going to start to kick up here.
So we're well past the node, so let's focus on good laps.
So focus on good laps there for Da Costa. Can we see the 2 Jaguar Porsches working together? We saw that in Monaco last year with the 2 Jaguars. They pulled a blinder with the strategy by using the rear gunner effectively to compromise everybody else, slow the rest of the pack up. The thing is, that's easy on a street circuit like Monaco. Here, it's as wide as a football pitch in some places. There's not the opportunity to keep all those cars at bay.
No, but with the energy they've got per lap now, the Newt, from what I understand, is actually the no overtaking point, where the pace is so fast it becomes much more difficult to overtake. And that's where, if you saved your energy early and you didn't deploy it, you didn't cycle yourself through to the front, you're going to pay the penalty. It's going to become way more difficult to overtake.
Okay, who just took attack mode? One of the Porsches.
Attack for a Porsche of Da Costa. Did he make that or not?
Yes.
Because it hasn't come up on the graphic there, but
It's not triggered. Well, wait. There's one way to know. It's like you got with the lights are purple. There he goes. All right.
Teammate Pascal Verline. So nicely done there for Da
So
Costa.
Porsche's doing. It kind of reminds me of what Jaguar did at Monaco last year, which also pissed me the hell off.
Watch out for Ollie Rowland. He's still got another attack mode to use after the one he's using right
I'm not
now.
gonna lie. This is kind of a meh
meh
race.
Just over a second out
Kind of
of the leaders
disappointing.
on the last lap.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to use that energy advantage to overtake a lot of cars, but he should be able to get comfortably inside the top 10.
Pace is now beginning to pick up, isn't it? We were 129.8 last time around with that rolling start, but look at the gap.
Big crash in the back.
Oh, we got a wreck.
Yeah, down in the chicane, we've got Jake Hughes in some problems there as well.
Jake
with
Hughes.
Max Günther, and that could be
Holy crap!
3 cars involved, as a matter of
3
fact.
cars with one of the Jaguars and one of the Penske's. Hughes, Gunther, Evans.
5 minutes of attack mode that he's just gone for, and unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to use it if that incident takes a long time to clear.
And look at the car that's on top in the middle there. Taylor Barnard, that is the rookie that's had such a strong start to the season, is down there.
What?
Let's have a look then. So we've got
I don't
Jake
see
Hughes
Barnard
in
in
there,
that.
Max Günther and Mitch Evans all
Yeah, not in the wreck, but at the back of the order.
Yeah, but he's not in the. He's not there.
It proves to be with
Maybe he
6
was.
laps remaining in this race. The safety car
Let
is
me
deployed.
rewind. I can't rewind.
And there we see the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT car leading round what will be, I imagine, a very disgruntled Antonio Felix da Costa. 4.5 minutes of attack mode remaining and no opportunity to use it at this point.
Yeah, that was a false alarm from me. That wasn't Taylor Barnard.
But nightmare situation for Antonio there. That's a worst case scenario.
Let's have a look what happened then here. So it's further back in the pack. You can see Jake Hughes. So he had contact there with Gunter. Evans with
Barnard's
nowhere
not
to
even
go.
in that
3
mess.
into 1.
You
Definitely
just
doesn't mix.
had to take the escape route.
Let's have a look. We've got a red flag actually. So
Red flag?
could be a benefit for some.
Damn,
Look at this though. So
Hughes
gets
into the
hunted by
wall
Gunter, into
and
the
then
wall
slides
he goes.
across, and
Gunter's
that
got nowhere to
causes
go.
the.
Straight
Oh,
over
look
the
at
back of the Maserati.
look at
Then
Gunther.
Evans joins them in sympathy
Damn.
as well.
Riding the
Well,
top.
that is a
Wait, is
shame
there
for
a
those
fourth?
two
No,
drivers
that's
to end
not
their
a
race in
fourth car.
such dramatic
Jesus Christ.
circumstances. The
Red flag.
is thrown with 6 laps, which will, I'm sure, become 5 remaining for this one. Cars will come into the pit lane, we're understanding, as well. Should be a relatively short red flag we're hearing, just to clear the debris on the circuit and make sure that the cars and the drivers are all safe and off the circuit. But unfortunately, there's a very second-hand looking Maserati for Jake Hughes.
Another thing to note.
Oh yeah,
was the
IndyCar
attack mode. There's
quality's
still
on.
drivers out there that haven't
Long
used both
Beach.
their
That's a
attack modes.
FS2.
We're getting down towards the end of the race. We're running out of laps, so they have to make sure they use it before the end of the
Channel I don't have.
And Pato get out and Malukas advance.
more energy.
Huh, wait. Oh, it's ongoing. Okay, hold on a
The guys
minute.
in the attack mode are going to have a huge
Let's
advantage
see,
over someone
Malukas
No,
else.
never mind. It's
Power
just
for
started.
the
Okay, hold
This
on.
entire race,
Let me see if I can
screws
find.
cost
attack
act.
mode just wiped off from this red flag.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's a disaster for Da Costa, no doubt about it. Gunter managed to get going again there.
This group's got like most of the best drivers and then also all the worst ones.
Drive again. I'm driving again. Okay, how is the car? Do you think you can continue? Yeah, I can continue. Suspension is okay. Copy. So let's go to. Yeah, we need to come to the box. 50 kph. Remember.
So he's back in the pits, but according to our timing screens, he's still on the lead lap. I mean, he's going to be right down the order, but depending on what we do
He got
from the start,
destroyed.
he might not be out of this, Gunter.
Oh, we got hit by Gunther first.
Just a slight kiss there with Gunter, wasn't it? And it just sent him wide into the wall, Jake Hughes. Let's have another look.
Not quite sure on this one whether Jake, if it hit
Damn.
Max Gunter on the apex there of the chicane at 10 or 11, or whether Max just ran a bit deep into Jake. It was a bit of a tricky one to call that.
We're going to
It's
stop the
difficult to see from that perspective who maybe was slightly more at fault. Could have just been a racing incident.
So Gunter and Evans also with that attack mode ticking down at the moment. You'll notice the clock for the attack mode doesn't stop, even though the red flag is out. Evans.
Now the interesting thing is these cars have come in, they were obviously involved in the incident, they've come in 1 lap earlier, so all the other cars have followed the safety car to do 1 lap, spending energy. So there's going to have to be an energy offset for those cars, because otherwise they're going to rejoin, either they're going to rejoin 1 lap down, or they're going to have some energy change.
James, you've been in positions like this as a team principal. How do you manage it with your team, with your drivers? I know it's circumstantial depending on what's going on in the race for you, but you know, how do you make sure that everyone's ready to go again and extract the maximum out of what they've got left?
Yeah, I think the difficulty is you need to understand what's going to happen now with the energy per
Is there
lap.
damage on the car? Do you know what damage there is on the car? Probably front wing. Okay, the suspension's some attention on. I think suspension's fine.
I mean, for Mitch Evans, you've got to go out there and give it a go, haven't you? You've got nothing to lose, really, at this
This is
point.
gonna be good.
Yeah, especially where the championship lays. If you could pick up even a few points, that could be crucial at the end of the season. We saw how tight it was at times last season.
They're all in the pits.
Given the fact that we're going to see a 4-lap sprint to the finish, you know, there's going to be plenty of action and plenty of things to capitalise on if you are out there.
Well, there's a good possibility we're going to see drivers going into attack mode pretty much straight away as soon as the lights go out. Some of them will have to because of what they've got remaining.
We're going to get a better perspective now of the incident.
Attention, everyone.
I
We
wonder
are
if he had a
under
bit of head and
red
shoulder there with the
conditions.
Envision as well.
Nowhere for
Please wait
Gunter to
for
go
all
there.
instructions. We are
It just seems like a bit of a
ambulance
racing
on track,
incident.
so it might take a little bit
Was it
longer,
Buemi?
but we will do our best to restart the race as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
So Marek Hanichevsky, race director there, just talking to the teams about the incident, presumably. And you can see that Formula E cars do have reverse. Oh, and that's even worse for Mitch Evans. He gets clattered for a second time by Gunter, who forgets mirror signal manoeuvre, trying to get out of the incident.
Just making sure that Mitch is going to have to replace his front wing as well.
Goodness me. Well, thankfully, all have emerged from that one okay. So, Da Costa then down in pit lane. When you're in this position here, James, of course, he's lost his attack mode in the final stage of this one. He's in the lead of the race, but look, I mean, you've got 5 cars behind him that have still got that 1 deployment remaining. Is it now game over for Da Costa for the victory?
He's got such an energy advantage, he still has a chance in this race. The problem he's going to face is all those guys with that attack mode are just going to be able to accelerate off the corner so much faster than he will be able to.
5-second time penalty for Nick Cassidy. He picked up a warning earlier on in the race for track limits, and the stewards have awarded him that. I mean, given the fact we're going to have a 4-lap sprint to the finish, I know there will be attack modes to deploy in that one, but again, it just goes from bad to worse for Nick at the moment.
Yeah, that's absolutely brutal, because 5 seconds in a 4-lap shootout, like you mentioned, it just means the field's going to be so bunched up, it's going to cost him so many positions.
I feel like if he fell into a barrel of shoes, he'd still come out wearing socks at the moment, Nick Cassidy. He just can't buy luck at all, can he? Well, a shame for him then. He's currently in 6th position at the moment. And you can see the remaining attack mode deployments for some of the drivers. So Verline's got 4 minutes. Freintz, Natto, Bird, etc. have all got 6 minutes rather. Cassidy's got 4 minutes, but we know he's sort of out of it because he's got that 5-second time penalty as well.
What we really need to see here is the energy remaining. If we see that as well, and you combine that information with the attack mode left, that'll give us a much better picture of how the race is going to unfold.
Just heard that Jake Hughes has said he's okay on team rating. He's one of the drivers who's not made it back into the pit lane at the moment, but he says he's okay, which is good news there for the British driver. Unfortunately, it will be an early conclusion to his race. So here then is Mitch Evans. Let's see what he's going to be able to do from 20th on the grid for this one, with no attack mode deployments remaining. And Lucas Di Grassi, is he in a good position? Well, he's 14th at the moment, and he has still got an attack mode left with this one. A couple of drivers in front of him have all used 2 of them, including Sebastian Buemi as well as Jean-Eric Bird, so they've got no attack mode remaining either.
Here we go, we've got the percentages now. So the people that are looking strong, Da Costa, Bird, Roland, all with 29%. I think they're the ones that are going to end up at the front here. Still a huge chance for Norman Nato as well. He doesn't seem to be that far off. But Nato and Bird, with 6 minutes of attack mode left, could quite easily win this race.
So we're just looking at the starting order, which is coming up on our timing screen after the red flag. So this is counted back a little bit. So what will happen here is we'll have the 2 tag points.
Oh, they finally have live timing in IndyCar quality. Thank God.
Huh? What?
They have like the live timing on the screen in IndyCar quality.
Only took 3 races to figure that
but
shit.
you know what? I'm just happy we got it.
No, but
Rosenquist beats his stupid fucking teammate.
John Bird and Nico Muller. That will be completely
Hit
top
that
10
guy.
as it stands for now. Well, goodness me, this is going to be...
No, come on, Pato. Come on, Lucas.
It essentially means that some drivers are going to be really up against it. I mean, if you're...
I'm going to let Kip and Simpson go to the best 12 like that.
We've got 6 minutes remaining, James, because, I mean, 4 laps, it's going to be touch and go.
Now you could have laps added on. So
I want to
160,
tap while I'm waiting
lap
for this
added
to
on.
restart.
But this was a red flag. So I think that is going to be an almost flat-out sprint.
Oh, Cardale's
with the
out.
attack mode will have a huge advantage.
Well, Lucas needs to go.
And I definitely think
Pato
that
needs
Sam
to go.
Bird could be in a very strong position here.
wait a minute. No, wait. On my end, they don't have the time comparison.
Nick Cassidy will line up directly behind him. You can see the
You're just behind. I think they get it in a little bit. The checkered's already out for me. You're like 2 whole minutes back.
I am, but that's still pretty bad. Only having it at the end, like what the hell? All right, so.
There is Colton Herter, your likes of your Armstrongs, your Rosenquist.
Again, I don't have FS2, so I have to rely on piracy.
The numbers are all to the bubble time. That is to the 6th place time that Connor Daly is currently holding.
Okay, see Rob going to 3rd.
Cole just bailed out. Colton just backed off, and now he's got to be careful as Newgarden charging down the back straightaway.
He's not from power, excuse me. By any margin, it's close.
Armstrong up the
Armstrong.
top.
Now to the top.
Yeah.
This next part's really funny, though.
All right, I can't wait to see that.
7 to the bubble, and Will Power is down. He's down over the line.
Will Power to 2nd.
He's up.
Rosenquist to 1st.
Yeah, I don't know where the timing is on yours.
I'm watching. I'm using the Sky Sports League.
And Herter are out of the top 6 and will have to fight to make it through. 10
But
seconds left on the clock. It's now
or never.
Yeah, Colton Herta's on the lap right now. This is his last
Even
chance.
then,
His power continues to circulate here.
Colton's the one to watch here.
On board now with Herta.
Well, he's won here
This is big
before.
pressure for Colton Herta. He's on the outside looking in.
I think he won. It was 21. He won Long Beach.
Any mistakes.
Yes.
That was the last race, or was St. Pete the last race?
He won both, but Long Beach was the last race.
Okay. It was pandemic season screwed me up with the schedule.
Has taken the win here, needs this to be perfect. The long straight, the big braking zone down there then at the end of the lap.
This is where the big bump is right here. Tough to negotiate.
Award goes to third.
No lockup from Colton Herta. The pace looks really
Watch
good.
this part.
Tires
This
look
part's
to be gripped
interesting.
up and in the window. One more corner to go. Will it be enough?
Had the space, had the lap. Does he have the
Whoa! Oh!
Broke the toe link. Left rear is
Broke his car, but got to second.
Good news is he's in. Bad news is the car is damaged.
Damn.
Up to sixth, which pushes willpower.
Power's out.
To seventh, Joseph Newgarden.
And Newgarden's out.
Is out.
Get
It's
fucked,
a
Penske. Get fucked.
show for Penske unless they can pull something out from this.
Lundgaard, Herta, Rosenquist, O'Ward, Armstrong, Malukas.
Once again, willpower. Joseph Newgarden.
Oh my God.
And look, Kevin Simpson's out too. Fuck you, Simpson.
Yeah, because he sucks.
He does suck. It could be Lundqvist in that car.
Linus Lundqvist owns Simpson.
What is Lundqvist doing this year anyway? What is Lundqvist doing?
He's not in anything. It's a real shame.
Is he doing real estate then?
I guess.
God damn.
Alright, who's in Q2? We had Malukas, Rosenquist, and Pato. I think I'll go third, which is nice.
Wait, Malukas made it through?
Siegel, Rasmussen, and Kirkwood. I want to see them.
No, wait, where did Malukas finish? In that one.
So inside the sporting regulations of the championship, you must use all of your
Let's
attack
see.
mode
Have they
allotment.
given a
Now,
NASCAR
we've
pole
seen
winner
that some
yet?
of these guys used the 2 minutes earlier, and they've got 6 minutes left. We were saying that Antonio Felix da Costa was
Oh, wait, that's on Prime.
because he didn't get to use it. But
I'll check
now,
in a
with
minute.
4-lap sprint race, it's going to be very difficult for some of those guys with 6 minutes to actually use a whole 6 minutes because you can't activate it until the activation zone. And then you'll have 3.5 laps.
By the way, you know how MBM, the driver, hit the LE production car hit the wall in practice?
Yeah.
Apparently the kid's a piece of work, like the driver, Tyler Tomasi.
One big advantage here for Lucas Di Grassi is if it is flat out, he has a great opportunity to score a lot of points for Lola Yamaha Apt, which they desperately need and they deserve from their performance so far this weekend.
So inside the Envision garage of Sylvain Filippi there, the team principal at the moment, and a serene amount of quietness falls on the Miami
who got air?
Speedway
What?
as we wait for
Who got, wait.
I'm just not checking chat.
Wait, who flipped?
shoulders of these drivers with
I'm assuming a flip, but
to this one. So what will happen is the drivers will go out onto the track once the race restarts.
Rafa, what happened?
Is initiated, then we will have them all lining up on the grid. We'll get 5 lights to come on, and then we'll get the race back underway proper. And as we know,
Okay.
still with attack
Who
mode
got
drivers
air?
left, and some with more than others, which could prove to be a big disadvantage.
Oh, you're talking about the Formula E cars. Okay, yeah.
We saw the frustration on his
So,
face.
Rafa
No
was,
surprise there at all.
Rafa and I watched the Sao Paulo race, also Rafa's home track, and suffice it to say, we were very shocked to watch Pascal Borderline flip headfirst into the wall.
Because you're never going to use 8 minutes in 4 laps.
Not
It
optimal.
doesn't take 8 minutes to do.
Well, let me
4
find the
laps.
replay of that, Rick. That was one of the most ridiculous things I had seen. Like the Gen
Yeah, that
the
was-
Gen 3 just likes to flip, or yeah, Gen flip.
And it's Pascal Wehrlein right at the front there. Oh, my goodness.
I can't.
Just
My
a huge
God.
impact.
It was Wehrlein and,
Cassidy, I think.
yeah, I believe it was.
Pascal, are you okay? Yeah, red flag, yes.
Jesus Christ. That was last year. Jesus. And we're still in a red flag. How long could it possibly take to wipe this up?
Yeah, like a 3-car crash. It's not like we had one of the catch fence.
God, I mean, I feel like NASCAR would have wrapped this up by now. You got to have the AMR safety team. They should have brought the AMR safety team on this shit.
I agree. Oh yeah, Will Power is terrible, by the way.
Well, he's old. Then again, so is Dixon.
Give the seat to David Malukas now.
Well, you know, to be fair to Power, he won 3 races last year and finished, what, 4th in points?
What was the third one that he got again?
Portland.
Oh yeah, Portland.
You know, I was really hoping
Portland's a
that...
good track. I don't get how every single IndyCar race there is complete shit.
Only series that can do well on it is ARCA West and Xfinity.
I liked the Formula E there. It wasn't like great,
That's
but I
true,
mean it was solid.
But Xfinity is definitely the best, though. Let's be real about that.
Yeah. See, the issue is that they're not dying in the chicane anymore. It was funnier then. It wasn't always like, you know, peak racing quality, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I haven't had a crash there in IndyCar.
You know
like
full
a
well
star
that
crash there in IndyCar.
you know full well that they couldn't keep doing that, though. Well, I guess
Well, the only thing we got this past year with Grosjean being like junior karting series level IQ.
Well, there's a reason it doesn't have a ride anymore.
Through this time. Man, it was
True,
just it was
Even the IMSA team he drives for is kind of belly up.
But I don't know how much I missed out
Okay,
by.
the second group's kind of mid. We have Pillow, Rossi, Erickson, McLaughlin, Rasmussen, Dixon, Siegel. Okay, it's decent.
But then just it's hard to.
They don't have the shitters in here, but they have all the mid. Like they have Schwartzman, Rahal, Ferrucci, Iwat, Fable, Foster.
Every
Man,
single
fuck
practice
Ferrucci.
this year we've been fast. Every single one, and we haven't gotten the top 12 yet. So there's no. You can make as many excuses as you want. We're just.
Okay, Rasmussen, come on.
It counts on the soft tires, and maybe we should have just run 2 sets. It's hard to do that when you're in the top 3 in practice. So, yeah, motor on tomorrow. See where we go.
Rasmussen's been like. He's been getting popular, which I actually think is pretty cool because he deserves it. People are noticing that he's like the GOAT.
Expects to be, particularly not when they're leading practice sessions and then they're out in the first section of qualifying.
And this trend of having
Come on,
total
Ras.
confidence in practices, you know, we're the fastest, we're crushing the competition on
Is the
speed.
red flag
And
lifted yet?
to
They
not
gotta be
even get a
close.
whiff of a top 12 starting position.
I don't
I mean,
think
I look
we're
into Will Power's eyes,
there
and
yet.
it's
Oh
bewilderment,
my
it's total
God.
confusion. Not a
For a
situation
3-car wreck.
in his career.
Yeah.
I think there's a bomb in one of those cars.
In the history of the
I
sport.
mean,
Yeah.
have you ever seen a lithium battery fire?
It is, and how important executing when
Yeah,
it matters
good grief.
truly is. These cars are fast enough to be in the top 12. We know
Okay,
that,
I
but
need
if you
Nolan
don't
Siegel
get the right
to
lap,
follow
is
up
it
on his
lap
FP2
one?
pace.
Lap two?
Why?
And
Is
just
it
get
is he on your
pulled.
fantasy
And
team?
if Penske's struggling as a team, what does that mean for AJ Foyt,
No,
which
he's not
is a
this week. He
technical
was the past
partnership?
2
We
race
ride on
weekends,
board
so
with
it'd be
Santino
fitting that he would do
Ferrucci.
good, right?
It means P1.
But I just think he's the GOAT.
12, but 5 seconds off the
I think I
pace
put
as he
Foster
warms
on
his
there,
soft
starting him to
tires.
lock in.
However,
All right, restarting in
this is
3
an interesting
minutes.
situation because last year
Oh, yeah.
Team Penske was top 3.
Rasmussen leads. Let's go.
Sort of on an island.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
I guess on the Sky broadcast, it's not showing their gaps to the
What's interesting to watch,
cut
though,
line.
guys, is clearly the teams in Group 2 were paying attention to Group 1. A lot more drivers starting on the alternates, going for that 2 alternate strategy in Q1. This is what we're going to
Rasmussen's
start
fast
seeing, I
here.
think,
He
with
just,
this new tire
he
out.
just got caught out and crashed last year. But he was good in practice then, too.
Boy, serious, like, is the only reason Indian X doesn't run here is because IMSA does?
A used set of soft tires.
I don't know. I think it.
No,
Well,
you
maybe
still have
so,
enough, 'cause you
honestly.
use
Like,
one in practice,
Indy
one
Next
in
is such a
Q2,
painful gap.
Right.
And then you've got
Going, you have to wait 2 months. It's the same gap FE has between races 4 and 5 this year.
5 sets on the weekend.
I mean, this is just
one for Friday. That leaves you
bad.
qualifying.
But I mean, Indy Next races Detroit, and IMSA did it with them last year.
Over the bump, tidy entry there, just these very fast.
And I would say it's just because they're doing one race out west and then going back, but I mean, they do it for Portland. So I don't know.
The moment for the brand new team Prema, then it's Ferrucci, Ilon,
Oh, I wonder how the USF races at New Orleans are going.
Oh yeah, Oliver Weldon made his debut today. Let me just check how he did.
Had just a horrible two first races.
I don't think they've had any of the other races yet, but they've got a few more.
That's correct. Oliver Weldon got pole. He didn't win.
This is the guy that can be
Joao Vergara.
And that lap time 107. Vergara, okay, that makes sense. He's probably the second best.
Behind who?
I'd say probably Weldon. I don't know much. It's the season opener. I think it's them, Scorpione, maybe Ty Fisher, and then I forgot to pronounce his name, but the Finnish kid, Tola or something.
Wait, Spanish? There's no Spanish driver. There's multiple Mexican drivers. Let's see. Patricio Gonzalez, Rodrigo Gonzalez, Juan Pablo Villarta, or Villarta, Diego Gallo.
Even in his limited practice running so far, not a mistake. Yeah.
What name were you thinking? I still don't know what name you're thinking of.
USF 2000 is going to be boring. Liam McNeely's going to win maybe every single race. They just have an issue in.
Fair enough. What about UF Pro?
Really impressive.
Pro is going to be really good. All my drivers are kind of like 5th to 10th place range right now. I think Garcia has the title at this race.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Garcia. Because I mean, first of all, as well, Nikita Johnson's not here, so maybe it'll be wide open. But then again,
Jace Denmark.
Oh yeah, Jace Denmark. And oh, what about Ariel Elkin?
He's good.
He is.
Denmark's issue, the TJ speed cars aren't actually that good. They just have good drivers. And so going back for year 3 in a slower car, Denmark's just gonna, he's probably cooked, sadly.
So he's got the racetrack to himself for the time
I'm hoping Denmark, Clark, and Taylor are the top 3.
A lot of drivers are just coming out.
I don't pay much attention. I don't pay much attention to the 3 junior leagues. Maybe if they actually had a professional broadcast, I would, but.
All the guys I really like are in pro. I don't really have anybody in the lower 2. I mean, I guess, like I said, Weldon.
Yeah, Oliver Weldon is the only reason I watch juniors, or try to.
And then, I may as well root for McNeely this season. The better he looks, then the better in general, because it'll mean he gets a good ride in pro.
Wait, what about Max Taylor? What about Max Taylor in USF Pro? How good will he do?
Yeah, I fucking love Max Taylor. He's so cool. No, and the great thing about him is that he actually has money. Except he's not just some Nepo baby, and so I don't have to worry about him losing his ride every 2 weeks. I think he did he get a podium? He was top 5 in both the St. Pete races. I think he pulled around there today.
Who? Taylor?
Taylor.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Championship standings. Max Taylor 5th and 4th.
I'll forget what
So I'm hoping he's got an next debut coming up. I'm hoping he does well. He probably won't, to be honest, but I mean, you know. Look at that experience so young, it's not the end of the world. Holy shit, Rasmussen's still leading. What is this group doing?
Sandbagging?
I guess, because the 3, 27, 28, 6, and 9 are all still out, and the 15, 14, yeah.
All right, 6 minutes. All right, anyway, we're restarting.
Oh, we're getting there.
Yeah, last 4 or 5 laps.
No,
you've got no other choice.
I'll switch back and forth.
Okay, Polo into the top. Come on, Siegel. Foster to second, holy cow.
Over the course of these final 4 laps. So the safety car is out. What's going to happen?
Who do you think DNQ is for the 500?
Standing start. We'll be getting a rolling start here in this race, which we know they're pretty familiar with on this
I'm going to say Schwartzman.
It's DaCosta that will lead them across the timing line. Pascal Verline in second position with that one attack mode remaining.
Like, right now, Prema makes RLL on ovals look good.
Oh, Dixon's going to mess it up.
Fucking ball sack.
Come on, Rasmussen. I need Siegel to lock in.
I need Dixon to lock in. Come on.
Florian looking very calm there. To say he's
my goat.
Looks like he knows what he's.
My first race, the IndyCar race that I went to, was the 2020 3. It was the Gallagher Grand Prix at Indy in August. So it's for the doubleheader. IndyCar, NASCAR. I got to see my favorite driver win my first IndyCar race.
The other blessing to these guys with 6 minutes is there's still
Here's
a chance
Foster to the line. Does he have anything?
How much action we're going to see with the more.
Well, I noticed Kirkwood doesn't have chilies on his car anymore, which kind of sucks.
And if that happens and they've all activated,
I think he will again. It's just this week he doesn't. Come on, Siegel. Oh, come on. Oh, he did get in. There we go. There we go. Come on, there we go.
For now. Hold on. Oh, we're doing standing start?
We're waiting for confirmation of that here in the commentary box. It looks like it's going to be because they're all lining up.
Nolan Siegel, you are...
We're doing standing start for FE.
4 laps until the lights will
That's going to be a...
confirmation there according to...
How's everyone going to finish their attack mode,
Come on,
though?
Rasmussen, get in. Oh, he didn't. That's a shame. Yeah, Rossi's definitely gotten the better of Rasmussen so far.
Well, I would expect him to.
Right.
Then again, Rossi's kind of washed, so...
Rasmussen 9th, it's not the end of the world. Ferrucci 13th, what a bum. Dixon's out. Oh, Ferrucci has gone into the runoff and is out of the car.
Right in front of a load of other guys who've got one of those attack modes remaining.
Before the start of this
It looks like he has indeed bend it. Ferrucci has.
All right, hold on. I think we're about to restart the Formula E race.
So then, it is going to be eyes on the lights for the start procedure.
The cost of our line on the front row.
Cassidy has fastest lap at the moment.
Let's go,
Nolan. The green light is on at the back of the field, and we wait for the 5 red lights to come on and the race to get underway. 5 red lights are about to come on then here in Miami. The restart.
Who is it going to be?
Green, green, green.
And we're back underway.
Here we go, 4 to go. Here comes Mortara to the inside. He splits the Porsches. Da Costa holds on to the lead. But for how long?
Da Costa with an attack mode. I just don't see how he's going to be able to hold on.
Oh my God. Mortara doesn't have any either.
Oh, loses the line on the hog. You see the onboard Sam Bird, he gets into the gases. Ever so slightly.
Here comes the field for their attack mode.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. And it gets so stacked up, contact in the back. I've never seen something quite like
Here
that.
comes the freight train. Going to run over the front too.
Gosh, I don't think the top 2 are going to be able to hold off long. Those others are going to have such a run, and here's Verline. Oh, down the inside, the big Sam.
Who's going to get that pass? Who is that?
That's a big one. Is
a red
that
car.
Verline going forward?
Might have been.
Oh, they're way to the inside towards the chicane. That's back with more.
How long until
I
someone makes a
think.
stupid move? That's what I want to know.
Going to be just 3 laps remaining when they come to the line, and it still is Da Costa ahead of Mortara, ahead of Verline. There you see
Not showing all the attack modes.
For almost everybody.
Wait, oh, Frines has 6 minutes left? No added laps.
It's not going to matter. They're going to have it to the end.
Fair point, but don't they have to use all of
Oh,
it?
here comes Frines. Inside for the podium, and Mortara.
Don't they have to use all their attack mode, actually?
I think he's going to have such an advantage with the 4-wheel drive.
Like, I think if you...
I think as long as they've gone into the zone, it's okay.
I think you have to use all of it. Like, because I think there was a penalty that was going to happen at the end of Remember the last race of last year? I think Mitch Evans had to bail because he wasn't going to use all of his attack mode. Anyway, Borderline's in the lead.
Oh, and here comes Verline. Frines has got to get on with it. The defending champion control.
Robin Frines doesn't want to race, I think, in 4 years or so. Frines' last win. Okay. No, it's been 6 years since Robin Frines last won a race. Same as his teammate.
Going through for the podium.
It seems like these guys have come to the conclusion they're just going to go for it and use the attack mode. If they cross the line with attack mode left, they'll take the sporting penalty.
Yeah, that's right. It's a confirmation. If you make it across the finish line with attack power left over, you take a penalty. So that's so Frines, Nato, Roland, Bird, Barnard are probably gonna get penalized. Nominato takes the lead. Takes the third place, excuse me. 2 laps to go.
We've got 2 laps left, about 1.5 minutes a lap, so that would equal 3 minutes of attack mode that these guys are going to be able to use. They're going to have over a minute left when they get to the finish line, so for sure there's going to be guys that finish with attack mode.
We want to fight anyway. Nato behind on attack.
Degrassi might get a podium after the penalties.
No.
I think.
Well, let me check the penalty.
I think Degrassi could be on here for P2 in this race. If my calculations are right, Verline's going to get the win. Degrassi is going to be second.
And DeCosta third.
Yeah, because all the drivers in front with that attack mode remaining are going to get penalties, and they're all trying to argue for innocence then here.
What a weird situation.
McLaren there on the inside.
Try to pull away if you can.
Lemmy should take one for the team and crash and try to make this race take a while to finish the last lap.
Great stuff from him. Oh, the other lowly Yamaha apt of Zane Maloney taking to the escape road down at the chicane. Manages to keep it facing in the right direction.
Degrassi got by DeCosta, so he's going to get second place.
No, we didn't want to see Degrassi and DeCosta on the podium.
All right, white flag is out. Last lap at Homestead. Look at how much look at how much attack power they have. How is that not added laps? But I digress.
Yeah, this is going to be very difficult for the stewards to manage this situation because there's a lot of guys out there who are not going to be able to fulfill their allotment of time for their attack modes.
So down through into turn 4 we go. Verline is that leads. Got 8% of energy. Nato's got a fair amount more expendable compared.
Yes, I guess they're going to just run as far as possible so that you don't. So maybe your penalty gets blunted. I think it's like. I want to say it's a 30-second penalty for not using all of your attack mode, but I could be way wrong.
Those who have still got the attack mode deployment remaining at the end of this one have not used it all. By our calculations, it looks like it'll be Lucas Degrassi who will come home in second place in the Lola Yamaha Apt machine, which will be an emphatic result. Sam Bird's going through on the inside, but he, of course,
Bird has too much time left. Nato trying to get by the leader as Vorline has run out of attack mode.
Of course, not in that active attack mode, whereas Nato is. So is Nato going to try and take the win on the road?
Nato's probably going to cross the line first. But...
Yeah, but or is he, man? Good defending by Vorline.
Trying to follow a similar strategy.
Don't do anything silly, they will get penalty now. Too much attack mode remaining.
I think he might just take the win on the road. Here they come across the finish line. At the line it'll be Nato, but Pasco Vorline wins the Miami ePrix. I'm pretty sure it'll be Vorline winning the race. So it'll be Degrassi second and then DeCosta third.
We got like a final straight pass, and of course a weird rule is going to negate it. Average Formula E moment, sadly.
5 drivers did not get all their attack power. Norman Nato, Robin Frines, Oliver Rowland, Sam Bird, Taylor Barnard, all of them finished in the top 8.
Does Muller get like 4th then?
Huh?
As the eventual victor, courtesy of the fact that he had no attack mode remaining.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for the stewards to figure out and argue.
Unless they just say, throw their hands up in the air and say, actually, no.
He's won the race on the road, but he's not been able to use his full 8 minutes of attack mode. It's going to be an interesting one to see how they quickly adjust the results and make sure that we get the correct order.
Billy, let's catch up with him, see what he's got to say.
Norman Nato, congratulations on winning the race on the road, but here in the comms box, we're really struggling to digest what we've just seen. Do you know currently if you're going to hold on to this win or what the penalty might be if it comes your way?
Well, unfortunately, I think the penalty come our way. Yeah, pretty unlucky, to be honest. Just like
Norman Nato has 1 race win.
Red flag at the worst moment for us, so yeah, that's a bit.
He was the pole sitter.
So by beginning of the season, to be honest, like we're fast, but so far, yeah, nothing comes our way. So yeah, plenty of positive today, but yeah, this one is a bit difficult to swallow, of course.
Well, Norman, that was a really unlucky result in the end there, considering you think the penalty is coming your way. But congratulations on a strong weekend. You bounced back. You got those points of pole position, so you won't come away empty-handed, that's for sure. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Here's Rowland, his teammate.
So Norman Nato then across the line in first place, but the stewards are going to be very busy indeed. Here, let's have a look at what happened to Pascal Wehrlein, and he was told not to fight it.
Don't worry, so that's P2 on the road. They have 30 seconds remaining attack mode. They will get penalty. Good job, mate. Good job, mate. They are already under investigation. Fantastic job. Fantastic job.
What a crazy and chaotic race. Formula E always delivers.
No, not always, but...
So that's a penalty for sure.
All right, so look, they're lining up the 1, 2, 3. There's Vorline 1, Degrassi second.
He is. You can see them pointing the cars in.
And DaCosta third, I think.
And the Lola Yamaha.
Man, we got a double piece of shit podium today.
Who do you not like? You don't like Degrassi? What's wrong with DaCosta?
Terrible.
Well, they've just committed to Gen
A
4.
quick search up his Twitter timeline will tell you what you need to know.
Oh, great. What is...
To reckon with in this championship very shortly.
I forget exactly his deal. Degrassi's all sorts of horrible.
Interestingly, 0.119 of a second.
I think DaCosta's similar. I don't really know.
Closest winning margin in Formula E history. So, despite the fact that there is some drama at the end of that one, there you go. You can see Freitz, Bird, Barnard, Nato, and Roland all under investigation for the attack mode misusage. Essentially, they had too much attack mode. They didn't complete the deployments at the end.
They've shown me in the feeder series server before.
On the podium in third.
I forget for him what it was.
Although he's going to be gutted.
And then I guess DeVries is bad too. I guess those three are all shitty.
Until that red flag. Also looking at who we think might be
do they like right wingers or something?
Might finish that race in 4th position. I mean, considering the weekend he's had up until now, that would be such a strong result for Andretti here at their home race.
Well, Muller was 9th across the line.
It was worse today in practice and cup than it was last year.
Following the checkered flag. And
oh god, they went too far.
It's also 49 degrees.
These guys who didn't take it run, you know, they could have taken it earlier in the race. They knew the laps were counting down. They didn't take their attack mode.
All right, and I think, yeah, anyway, that wraps up today's race. Vorline will get his 8th career victory. See you guys in 2 hours for the Xfinity race. BowserJrXD signing off. Have a good one.